Everyone, my name is Tiani and I will be going over changing landscapes. Now, how does weathering and erosion happen? Weathering is a process where the rock is dissolved, worn away, or broken down into smaller pieces. Now, this is a type of mechanical physical weathering that breaks up rock. This is a frost action specifically, as you can see here. The water gets into the crack and joins in bedrock. The water freezes and then it expands and cracks open a little wider. Over time, pieces of rock can split off a rock face and big boulders can be broken into smaller rock and gravel. Now, an example of an erosion happens when a rock sediments are picked up and moved to another place by ice, water, wind, or gravity. And as you can see here, this clearly has been moved areas that have had part of the land moves, as you can see the choppiness here, and I think it was moved by water, considering there is a lot of water flow right here. Now, a geological structure from a fold forms in crustal rocks. Ductile rocks behave plastically and commonly become folded in the response to stress. Folding can happen in the shallow crust if the stress is slow and steady and gives the rock enough time to gradually bend, as you can see here happening, and it just gets bigger and bigger the less stress that is applied. And this would be an anticline version, which is located in Alberta, Canada, in the Rocky Mountains. Now, the type of glacier I think that changes the landscape more is the Alpine glaciers, which is located behind here. It changes a V-shaped mountain valley into a U-shaped valley with a wider, flatter bottom. As you can see, it's happening behind here. And then a continental glacier just has ice sheets that flow over the unconfined land area. It doesn't really change the actual landscape of it unless you're looking at it as what is being piled on top. Now, in the desert, the hottest deserts are located between 15 and 30 degrees north or south of the equator. Most moisture falls as the rain before it reaches the land, causing it to be this hot. And an example of this would be the Nain Desert in Africa. And here's a recent rainfall where this is a lot less dry than the rest of the desert, considerably from the rainfall. Now, coastal processes can be described as erosion, transportation, or depositions. And in this YouTube video, I have found this person was talking about, she's a marine biologist, talking about how it is affecting the ocean and the coastal reef, as I will show you a short bit of it. So I'm just going to skip ahead here to where she talks about, these focal vents, bubbles here, as you can see, they are what is taking in the carbon dioxide and making the ocean more acidic, basically, is what is happening here. And as you can see,
what makes this reef special is that there are natural underwater volcanic vents
that spew
pure carbon dioxide into the water, making it more acidic.
Exactly.
About 30% of the carbon dioxide from human activity dissolves into the oceans, rivers, and lakes. This, in turn, makes it difficult for organisms like plankton, corals, and shellfish to grow their skeletons and shells.
And thus making most of these animals subjected to dying because they cannot form their shells. And mostly now there's more algae life in the ocean than there is marine life. As you can see, this is what healthy was. And beforehand, if it doesn't have any of these volcanic vents that you see floating around, essentially that means there's a lot more carbon dioxide in the water, thus making marine life closer to being extinct. Here are my references.